That's not going to last
No. Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's workshop, Progressive Muscle Relaxation. We're going to learn about progressive muscle relaxation, and we're going to talk a little bit about emotions and a little bit about chronic pain and kind of how all of those things interplay together. So as we start today, I would ask that you would silence ringers on your phone or tablets or whatever may be around you that could possibly distract you. I beg you to be comfortable. So if you need to get up and walk, if you need to lay down, if you whatever you need to do to be comfortable, please do so. And please have a way to write down your questions. I have learned that with my long COVID brain, I get way too sidetracked if I start to answer people's questions in the middle. So if you would please do me the honor of writing those questions down, and then I will answer them at the end. So be comfortable. If you want your camera off, keep it off. If you want it on, turn it on. Just be comfy, okay? Oh, Doreen, I see you now. I'm like, wait, that's the same person. Got it. And you're muted.
Yes, I was on my phone and I don't know how to use Zoom on my phone, so I got on my computer. So I'm Doreen. I'm in North Carolina.
Well, welcome, and welcome to the group of folks that is not also great with technology.
Okay, so we'll get along fine tonight.
I was going to say you're in great company.
Okay, I'm going to get rid of my video so I can finish eating my dinner.
Enjoy your dinner, and thanks for joining us.
Oh, sure.
So just be comfortable. You're here because you're in pain. So don't be in more pain, like pretending like you need to sit upright. If you want to lay down, lay down. If you need a heating pad, go grab that. If you like, just be comfortable, please. Life is hard enough that you don't need to be at a workshop trying to make yourself feel better and then be in pain. Okay. And then the big thing was just please write down your questions so that at the end we can talk about them. So what are we talking about tonight? Chronic pain, anxiety and depression a little bit, emotions, muscle tension. We're going to do a full progressive muscle relaxation session, which I'm actually really excited about. And then at the very end, I'm going to tell you a little bit about a course that I'm offering starting next week. And then we're going to do Q&A, and it's going to be all the Q&A. Everything you've got will go till there's no more questions. Okay. All right. So most of you have known me for a while, but I'm just going to remind everybody who I am and why the heck I'm doing this, and why you might want to bother listening to me. But my name's Amy Eicher. I am an author and a chronic pain coach. I was a Division I swimmer back in the Wayback Machine in 1992 when I was injured and my SI joint hurt. I didn't even know what an SI joint was when I was 18, but man, it hurt, and it would hurt for 20 years. And I would do all the things to try to make it not hurt. And I had all of the emotions that came with 20 years of pain. There was anger and sadness and ferocious anger and sorrow and the desire to not wake up in the morning. And I feel like if there was an emotion that could be had about and around pain, I probably had it multiple times in that 20 years. After a surgery that did not yield the results that I was told I should get or that I expected, I decided there had to be something else to pain that is like, it was like a secret out there that I didn't know what it was, but there had to be some kind of secret to unlock this ridiculous, mind-numbing, life-altering pain. And I ended up getting given a book called Explain Pain by Lorimer Moseley and David Butler. It explained the current science of chronic pain, like pain that persists past tissue healing, which I was like, 20 years, tissues probably should have healed by then. So I think I fit that category. Read the book, got so angry that nobody had ever told me these things that I proceeded to throw it against the wall. multiple times before I finished reading. Um, and as I started to change my perspective about what chronic pain was from being only a tissue issue, because let's face it, I had a laundry list of diagnoses by the time I was in my mid 30s. I mean, I had degenerative disc disease, I had cervical stenosis, I had SI joint dysfunction, I had arthritis in my hips, my pubic symphysis, my SI joint, my neck, and probably in my shoulders because I was a swimmer, so that just tends to be. So I had this laundry list of ailments, and on top of that, all of my hormones were out of whack. I started going into perimenopause in my early 30s, and we all agreed that that wasn't normal. My immune system was jacked up. My sleep was completely jacked up. My emotions were wildly jacked up. I was insanely depressed and had a lot of anxiety around movement and, well, being social, because you kind of got to be able to sit and travel and get in and out of cars, and all of that made me insanely anxious. And at the time, I would not have told you that I was depressed or anxious. I would have just said I was in pain. So it's been through the journey and learning about these concepts within the context of pain that I can now turn around and go, oh yeah, I check all the boxes. Yeah. Yeah. And so as I learned about those things, I started to change my approach. One of the benefits of being an athlete was starting in high school. My high school coach used progressive muscle relaxation and what like science would now call mindfulness. He used that to help us swim better. And it is like our Olympians use it all the time. Escape artists use it. Like people that most of us would consider like elite in their fields use these skills. And so I started using them to try to help my stress levels because of my pain. And they helped. And there's science behind that. And I always think it's a good idea to share the science when I can. So if you will indulge me a little bit, I will bore you with that momentarily. But I will tell you that as I started to implement a laundry list of things that came out of science and my reading and my exploring, I am now slightly over 10 years pain-free. Like no SI joint pain, no back pain, no neck pain, all gone. And I credit, people always want to know how'd you do it. And the answer is I made an entire lifestyle overhaul in the way that I was approaching my pain and my life. And that came with the way that I dealt with my emotions and my thoughts and my behaviors. And I stopped pushing where I was pushing and started pushing where I wasn't, and like changed up the way that I perceived my pain, because I always thought it was damage. And one of the most insane things that I learned about chronic pain is that it really very poorly correlates to tissue damage. I recognize I don't know your stories, so please remember that I'm talking generally. I'm not speaking necessarily specifically to you because I don't know your story. But chronic pain tends to be far more about our nervous systems and how our nervous systems are interpreting information that they're getting from our bodies and the world around us than it is, a broken ligament or a torn muscle or things like that. So if that is true, and I believe it is, and science for the last 30 years has been doing research on it and is confirming that that's true, then that means when we take an only biological approach, meaning, we've gone to PT, we've done the injections, we've taken the medications, we've done the surgeries, we've done the things, right? PRP and cortisone and on and on and on and on and on. If those things have not corrected the situation and we are still struggling with pain, the most reasonable solution is because it has to do more with our nervous system than with those tissues. Now, that doesn't mean those things are bad. It doesn't mean you should stop those things. You probably shouldn't. They're probably contributing to some modicum of wellness. But if they are not enough to get you out of the situation that you are in, it's probably time to start looking at your nervous system. And what I mean by that, and trust me, I have a 4-hour free class on this that I will put in the email that you're going to get tomorrow so that you can access it if this is of interest to you. But what it boils down to is that our nervous systems control our entire body. Without one, we can't breathe or be hungry or feel pain. And nervous systems are really just a highly elaborate electrical system, and ours become way oversensitized. They process information that shouldn't be dangerous as dangerous, and then the end result of all of that is we experience pain, and it sucks and it's stupid. And really, for the most part, our nervous systems are just drama queens, and we need them to chill out. So we can use things like progressive muscle relaxation to help calm, chill out, slow down our nervous system. And that's really, we're looking for every way that we can chill out the electrical system. So give me a second to drink. I remember to write down those questions because I realize I'm talking kind of fast. So that is the approach that I am coming to you from. It has worked for me. It has worked for others that I have coached. And it is, it is absolutely positively soaked in research out there. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, Amy, why did my doctors not tell me any of this? It's because research takes 50 years to get into practice, and we're only 30 years from the initial start of the research on chronic pain being more to do with the nervous system than tissue. So we've got 20 years to go before it starts to creep into the medical world. Yay. But please know that you're in good company. 1 in 5 people in the first world experiences chronic pain. It's the number one reason that people miss work, and it's the number one reason that people see doctors. So it really is an honest epidemic, and I am hoping that our time together helps bring you some relief. Today's workshop is a singular tool out of like thousands that we can use. So I am hoping to teach you something that you have not tried yet and that you may find helpful. You may hate, and if you hate it, that's okay. You don't ever have to do it again. That's the beautiful thing about tending to our nervous system instead of tending to tissue, is we get to keep doing the things we like and that make us feel relaxed, and we get to toss out the stuff that doesn't help us, that like just is not helpful. So yeah. So I said that we were going to talk a little bit about emotions before we get into the heart of the like, how do you do progressive muscle relaxation? And I tried to boil it down into like a nutshell, but how many of you would say that you feel, as part of your pain picture, you feel tight? Throw it in the chat, or like if you can raise your hand on the computer, like on your thing. Connie says yes. Chris, do you feel tight? Chris says yes. Doreen, do you experience tightness? I know I did. I felt like I described my hamstrings like they were on roller shades. Like I just felt like they were on so much tension that they were just going to go and like, roll up. Yes, hard to get out of bed. Oh, amen. I was there with you. And sometimes it would feel like they were so tight that it would feel like it was burning. Like there was like I said it felt like fire ants lived in my butt and my hamstrings and were just gnawing at things. And Chris says it gets worse when I feel stressed or anxious. Yes. Good observation, Chris. I'm going to call Chris out a little bit because she's currently going through Moving Beyond Pain, which is a 6-month program that I do. And like, she is catching stuff so fast. It's really fun to watch her grow. But yes, like one of the most classic things that you hear people complain about when they're tense is that their shoulders hurt, right? Like they're always massaging their upper traps because they're holding tension. So I want you to think about this for a second. Why do we feel tight? Does anybody know why we feel tight? Traps, whatever your body part is. If you have a guess, like, no harm, no foul if you don't, but that's fine. But I would like to know what you think the reason for this feeling of tightness is. So go ahead and toss that in the chat. Because this was something that I did like start to look into, especially after I went back to PTA school. I was really curious, why do we all, it felt like no matter how much I stretched, I couldn't stop that feeling of tension. Like maybe if I did some partner stretching, like had somebody else stretch me, I would feel better for a little bit. Or if I got a massage, I'd feel better for a little bit. But it just felt like it always came back. Chris says the brain is stuck in fight or flight. Connie says muscles have memory. You guys are great. I'm loving this. Both of those answers are correct. And Doreen, I know you're eating, but if you want to play later, go ahead and just toss things in to the comments. But yes, our muscles do have a memory of sort. It's stored up here and not so much in the muscle tissue itself. It's stored up here. And Chris says when the brain's stuck in fight or flight, you hold tension. And I would like to explain that with an illustration. Think about the last like jump scare movie you watched or TV show that was kind of tense. Like, the music is climbing and the lights are out and the person's creeping, or, the tension is building in the scene, right? With the music and everything. If you pay attention to your body, you are probably more rigid than if you're watching a comedy. You're holding your core. Maybe you're holding your breath. Maybe you're clenching your fists and you don't even know it. But in response to the perception of danger, our bodies tense. That is all it. So the medical word for that is tone. We all have tone. It's how we stay upright. We have to have a certain amount of contraction through our muscles in order to like function. Otherwise, we'd just be piles of goo on the floor. Like if you think about somebody that you've seen that has had a stroke and the connection between their brain and their muscle isn't working anymore, that's super floppy because there's no tone. Or somebody with like cerebral palsy and their tone is very high and they end up kind of curled in and it's really hard to uncurl things. That's because of the part of their brain that's responsible for setting the tone. In a person with CP, there's a disease process there and it's causing the tension to be too much. In a stroke, there's not enough tone and so it's hard to move body parts. Well, when we are experiencing pain, some of the things that our body does to help us out, or so it thinks, is create rigidity or tightness around the place that hurts. So it goes to splint us, right? So think of it like your body, or through your brain is putting a splint on this body part that hurts. Well, we can keep stretching, but as long as the body thinks, as long as the brain thinks that there is something to protect, it doesn't matter how much we stretch. It doesn't matter how much massage we get. We're going to continue to feel tight as long as the body feels the need to guard and splint our owie spots. So that is the nervous system at work in one of the many dysfunctional ways that happen due to chronic pain. Now, bear with me through the next part. I ask you to give me some grace as I talk through. I hate all of the ways that like science and research gives us to talk about the concepts involved with chronic pain, because quite frankly, it sounds like I'm blaming myself or you guys, and that is not what I'm trying to do. It's just we don't have great language around the concepts in chronic pain yet. So one of the things that psychology has studied about pain is how do our emotions affect the way that we experience pain. The tightness, the nerve sensations, the aching, the stabbing, all of the words that we use to describe our pain. How do our emotions play into that? And one of the most fascinating things I think that I have learned in my pursuit of understanding chronic pain is if we were to hold up functional MRIs, so that means like you're awake and things are happening, like they're looking at the brain. But if we were to look at pictures of a brain in chronic pain, a brain with anxiety, a brain with depression, and a brain with addiction, all four of those pictures look exactly alike. I gotta tell you, that blew my freaking mind. So what does that mean? Well, it means a couple things. It means that anything that helps to treat depression will also help us. It means anything that is used to help treat anxiety will also help us. And it also means that anything used to treat addiction should probably help us. I haven't read as deeply into that. But when it comes to dealing with addiction, anxiety, and depression, there's a lot around how we perceive the world, how we perceive ourselves, how we're dealing with the emotions that are living in our body. And the reason for that is because emotions have chemicals. Emotions produce chemicals within us that interact with our nervous systems. So the emotion in and of itself is just that. It's an emotion. But what happens is the emotion leads to thoughts, and thoughts lead to chemical cascades, because that's just the way our insanely complicated and kind of amazing bodies work. So what we have learned because of that is the more stressed out we are, if you will, which I don't know anybody in chronic pain that's not stressed out, because we're in chronic pain and nobody can solve it. So why the hell wouldn't we be stressed out? But the more that we focus our energy on how stressed out we are and how hopeless we feel, and things that the world would consider negative emotions, like I just think they're emotions and I think it's real for our situations. But you know what I mean, right? Like the negative emotions, fear, anxiety being particular ones, because you've got lots of cortisol and adrenaline with those things. And cortisol and adrenaline make the nervous system more excitable, more aware. It pays more attention to input that it should probably just like ignore. And that is why these things are important. It's, I mean, you know, uh, my partner, Nate, is about as Eeyore as they get. Like he is the living embodiment of Eeyore. And I don't really, I mean, like, I love him, but like the fact that he's just on the sadder side of the scale, and the more like life just kind of sucks side of the scale, uh, there's nothing wrong with that. We're all bent in different ways. But when we're dealing with chronic pain, what we do need to find is a balance, because if we can't get out of that, we're constantly bathing our system with all of these chemicals that are not helping us heal. Yes, Connie says even the gabapentin at maximum amounts is supposed to help, and it doesn't help. But if I go off it, it gets way worse. Yes. And Connie, that's a perfect example of why we need to not chuck the bio part of like we need to not chuck out our medications, because they do help in different ways. I think back to my personal health story, and I remember a gynecologist wanting to throw antidepressants at me, and I just got pissed. I was pissed. I was super, super pissed, and like told him so. And I really wish he had just said, you know, antidepressants and anti-anxieties, all they do is calm your nervous system down. So like that could help your pain. But if you want to be a crazy person about it, don't take it. But like nobody explained that those medications could actually help my pain by changing the way that my nervous system was interacting with all of these other inputs from my bones and my joints and my arthritis. And that like by calming down, by slowing down my nervous system, I could like get a break on that. Yeah, nobody bothered to explain that. So if you happen to be within the sound of my voice and you're fighting taking meds for those things, maybe don't fight. Maybe try. I always say give it a try for a little bit, and give it a try for a little bit. And if it helps, great. If it doesn't help, well, you tried. Yeah. Christine says, right, that's all that's talked about is the pain, not the nervous system, or not like the benefits that we as people in pain could have from being on medication that addresses something else. And it's annoying. Connie, I am on ADHD meds for long COVID, and I would love to talk to you later about that because I'm curious how that's working for you. But the other thing we know about this whole emotion chemical connection, and like I said, those pictures of all of those different brains lined up all look exactly the same. We know that a pained brain stops producing as much serotonin and dopamine and norepinephrine, like all the happy drugs, like the drugs that antidepressants actually replace. A chronic pain brain does not produce as much of those neurotransmitters as we need, which is why we become fatigued, we become groggy, our brains don't work as well. We feel like we can't initiate like activity. We have executive dysfunction and all on and on and on and on and on is because our chemistry dictated by the brain and the nervous system is also off. It's exactly why I went into perimenopause in my late 20s and early 30s, is not because I was actually going into menopause. It was because my emotions had changed my chemistry, my biology, and we now have research that proves that. And they summarize it as negative attitudes, feelings of helplessness or hopelessness, chronic stress, which upsets the body's hormone balance, depletes the brain chemicals that enable us to be happy, and it damages the immune system, so you're more likely to actually physically be ill. And to add to all that, it decreases our lifespan, which I think we all knew chronic stress decreases our lifespan. But it is amazing to me that our community of people in pain is so much more susceptible to all of those things because we are in pain, and then the system is not so helpful at getting us out of it. So what's the good news? The good news is that we can become more resilient by choosing to focus on different things. Now, I want to again pause and give my disclaimer that I hate, with a burning fiery passion, toxic positivity. Like being happy to be happy, that's bullshit. You're lying to your brain. Your brain is going to get very upset with you. It's not going to believe you, and your pain is probably going to heighten. So it's got to be that you're like actually enjoying things, or you're actually experiencing joy. And that's a little bit harder. We got to work a little bit harder at that than just saying we're okay or we're fine. So I am not in any way, shape, form, or otherwise saying I want you to just tell yourself, oh, everything's gonna be fine. I'm hunky-dory. No, please don't do that. And if you do that, please do not tell anybody that I told you to do that, because I'm telling you right now, don't do that. That has the kickback effect. Your brain says you're lying, we don't believe you, and that's not great. But what you can do is make yourself a list of happy bites. And happy bites are things that you can do for you. Only you can do them. And they are dependent on you, not on somebody else. You do them for 3 to 5 minutes, 5 to 7 times a day. And the only requirement for these happy bites, other than it has to be something you can do yourself, like if looking at your neighbor's baby makes you happy, well, your neighbor has to be available and they have to be willing to let you see the baby, and the baby needs to be happy. So there's too many variables in there. It's got to be for you, by you, with you. No, you cannot kidnap baby. Please do not kidnap the neighbor's baby. Connie, I love you. um, but what we're doing by doing happy bites 5 to 7 times a day is we are building resilience. We are building into our own recovery, and we are being actually positive because we're taking teeny bits of our day to try to recapture some of our humanity. And when we do that, we sleep better, we have fewer colds, we have a greater sense of happiness, we have a greater sense of peace, we connect better with other humans, we develop better relationships. And it's not because you're telling yourself that your pain doesn't matter and like you're being a wimp or whatever. No, no. It's because you're telling yourself life fucking sucks right now. Pardon my swearing. And it's hard and this really hurts. But in the midst of this, I'm going to take this minute for me, and I'm going to find something to enjoy. And maybe that's a song. Maybe that's an otter meme on Instagram because you follow like 18 otter accounts. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you go to the zoo where the otters are in your town and you like stand in front of them for 20 minutes and giggle ridiculously in the cold, like I did just a couple weeks ago. The point is to find the joy that pain tends to steal so that we can have some health that our pain has stolen. So as we build our emotional resistance, as we build resilience, not resistance, as we build that, we improve our overall health. We decrease the excitability of our nervous system, which also decreases our experience and intensity of pain. And when our experience and intensity of pain is less, we're able to enjoy our life more. And then it becomes a positive feedback loop instead of a negative one, where pain just keeps taking from us. Is it easy? No, no, it is not. It is very challenging, but it is what is required to get your life back from pain, like so many of us desire. You guys still with me? Everybody doing okay? Let me know in the chat if like you're good. All good. Learning a lot. I love that. Doreen, I'm so excited. What is your website? I need to recommend you for a friend. That would be www.restoring, RESTORING, Venus.com. And I have a very active Facebook group that I probably should have copied so I could paste it into the chat. But Connie, I think you're in it. But Facebook is always a great place to connect people to me. Oh, Doreen, good. I think I approved your request earlier today. But yeah, it's Facebook is a great place to connect me to people or to find my blog and then share that. I have over 100 blog posts, 3 books, and a ton of free stuff because I really just want people to get better. And if you need the personal touch, I'm here. And you know, we can go from there. But if you don't need that, then don't like do the things you need to do to get better. And if you need some extra help, I'm here. That's my philosophy as a coach. It's a terrible business model, but it's great for coaching. Okay. Thanks, Chris. So we're going to move into the like relaxy part. So if you are not already in a comfortable position, find yourself a comfortable position. You can dim your lights. You can do whatever makes you happy. You want to curl up and suck your thumb with a pillow? Do it. No judgment here. We want happy. We're looking for happy. And hopefully my mouth isn't going to go too dry and I am going to be able to walk you guys through this. My printer ran out of ink today, of course. So that's always fun. Okay, there. I can see what I want to read to you guys. Okay, so here we go. You've got your, so I'm gonna get my ethereal We're doing meditation voice on. Okay, is everybody ready? Okay, so get comfy. Uh, uh, Whatever comfy is to you, lay on your side, curl up in the fetal position, sprawl out on the floor, sit in your chair, put your feet up, take your shoes off. Do your thing. All right. First thing I want you to do is just take a nice soft inhale. Give it a little hold. And then just let it out nice and slow. I was at a class once. I was basically learning how to coach class, but one of the things that the instructor did was he had us breathe several times like that. So as I'm talking, you just keep breathing in and out, nice and slow. And as you're breathing, I want you to imagine your body becoming lighter. Imagine helium balloons tied to it, and your limbs are floating. Maybe you're floating on a cloud. But as you have this lighter feeling, I want you to think about something that makes you ridiculously happy. Almost like you're in the Harry Potter world and you need to form a Patronus. I want the happiest thoughts to go through your mind as you breathe in and out. Now, would you humor me and just smile? And think about how you feel when you're smiling. If it started out as a forced smile, is it becoming a little bit more natural as you think about those wonderful things? Our body releases feel good chemicals when we smile. And I feel it in my chest. I feel the lightness in my chest when I take a minute and I breathe and I just think about something that makes me happy. So as you keep breathing, we're going to move into the progressive muscle relaxation part. And as I ask you to tense and relax different body parts, please don't hurt yourself. If you're squeezing and it begins to hurt, go ahead and relax, back off the squeeze. We're trying to do things that feel good right now, not things that are going to hurt more. So I will say things like tighter, tighter, tighter. Stop making it tighter if it hurts, okay? Let your hands rest loosely by your side. Snuggle into that position and just be aware of your breathing. Let your abdomen rise and fall with each breath. Take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose, all the way down to your stomach, and hold that breath just for a moment. Then exhale through your mouth. Allow your breath to carry away all the stress and the tension as the air floods out of your lungs. Take another slow breath through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Hold it. And now release through your mouth. Empty your lungs completely with your out breath. Feel that your body has already started to change. The tension in your body has begun to loosen and subside. Let your breathing rhythm return to normal and relax. Remember, if you become uncomfortable at any time, you can just simply relax and breathe. Right now, I'd like you to bring awareness to your feet and your toes. How do they feel? Breathe in deeply, and as you do, gradually curl your toes down and tense the muscles in the bottoms of your feet. Hold your breath for just a few seconds, and then release the muscles as you breathe out. Feel the tension in your feet wash away as you exhale. Notice how different your feet feel when they're tensed versus when they're relaxed. Take another deep breath in and tense the muscles in the soles of your feet. Hold this for a few seconds. Flex your toes, spread them far apart, and now release. Feel yourself relaxing more and more deeply with each breath. Your whole body is becoming heavier, softer, more relaxed as each moment passes. Bring your awareness up to your calves. Draw in a nice deep breath as you point your toes upward towards your knees. Tighten those muscles. Tighter, tighter. Hold for a moment and let everything go limp as you exhale. Once again, draw in a deep breath and tighten your calf muscles. Hold for a few seconds and let it all go. Feel your muscles relax. Feel the tension washing away with your out breath. Take a deep breath in and tense the muscles in your thighs. Holding, 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 and release. As you do this, the blood flow to your muscles increases, and you may notice a warm tingling sensation. Enjoy this soothing relaxation. Once again, breathe in deeply and tighten your thighs. Tighter. Gradually exhale and release. Feel yourself relaxing completely. Draw in a nice deep breath and tighten the muscles in your bottom. Tighter. Hold this contraction for just a few seconds and then release your breath. Do you feel the warmth? Do you feel the heaviness? Breathe in again, tightening the muscles in your buttocks. Exhale and let that tension go. As you breathe in this time, I want you to tighten all of the muscles in your feet and legs and bottom. Do this however feels natural to you. Hold it. And as you exhale, release all of those large, strong muscles. Thank them for helping you move. Enjoy the sensation of release as you become more deeply relaxed. Turn your awareness to your stomach. Note how it feels before you begin. Draw a nice deep breath and tighten these muscles in your abdomen. Imagine you're trying to touch your belly button to your spine. Release your breath and let your muscles relax. How does it feel to let go? Draw in another deep breath and tighten your stomach muscles. Relax as you exhale and let them go. Feel yourself sinking, growing warmer, heavier, more relaxed, more at peace. In this moment, bring your awareness to the muscles in your back. As you breathe slowly, arch your back slightly and tighten all of those muscles. Now release your breath and let your muscles relax. They work so hard holding you up all day. Draw in yet another breath and tighten your back. Tighter. Squeeze it tighter and let your breath release. Sink back into comfort. Next, we move to the shoulders and the muscles in your neck. As you slowly draw in a nice deep breath, pull your shoulders up towards your ears and squeeze these muscles. As you let your breath out completely, let everything go loose and limp. Feel the warmth and the heaviness. With your next breath, pull your shoulders up towards your ears again and squeeze firmly. Feel the tension subside as you relax and let your breath out. Feel the heaviness in your body and enjoy that feeling. Feel yourself becoming heavier, warmer, more deeply relaxed. You are safe. You are secure. You are loved. As we move into our arms and hands, remember you are loved. As you breathe in, raise your wrists towards your shoulders and tighten the muscles in your upper arms. Hold that contraction for just a moment longer. Gently lower your arms and breathe all the way out. You may feel a slight burning or tingling sensation in your muscles as you tighten them. Can you feel how relaxing it is to release them and let all that tightness go? As you curl your upper arms again, tighten the muscles as you breathe in. Breathe in deeply, fill your lungs. Relax your arms as you breathe out. Bring your awareness into your forearms as you breathe. And curl your hands inward as if you were trying to touch the inside of your elbow with your fingertips. Feel the tension subside as you breathe out. Again, take a deep breath in and tighten the muscles in your forearms. Hold for a moment. Release them and feel the tension washing away. With your next breath in, I want you to tightly clench your fists. Tighter. Hold it. Breathe out and let your hands become soft and relaxed. Take another deep breath in while you clench your fists, holding for a few seconds. And as you exhale, release, letting your fingers go limp. Your arms and hands are feeling so heavy and relaxed. Take a couple of nice, long, slow breaths and just relax, feeling yourself slip deeper and deeper into a state of rest. Now tighten the muscles in your face by squeezing your eyes shut and clenching your lips together as you breathe in fully. Hold it and squeeze tighter. Now breathe out and relax all of the muscles in your face, feeling your safe face soften. In your next breath, scrunch the muscles in your eyes and lips and release. Bring your awareness to the muscles in your jaw. Take a deep breath in and open your mouth as wide as you can, feeling your jaw muscles stretching and tightening. Exhale, allowing your mouth to close gently. With your next breath, I want you to pull all of the muscles in your face back, like you're on a motorcycle and the wind is blowing at you. Pull even tighter and exhale out of your mouth. You're now completely relaxed from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. I would ask you to take a few more minutes to just rest, to feel your body in this state. Listen to the sound of your breathing. Note the physical sensations. Before you open your eyes, think of that wonderful thought again. and smile. When you're ready, just turn your mic on and we'll move into the next portion of our workshop.
I love
you. How do you feel?
Wonderful.
I love that. I will be honest, I mentioned that I learned how to do this for swimming, and it was phenomenal. However, I hear "We Are the Champions" in my head every time I get to the end of the script.
Oh.
And I then want to swim intensely. What makes this funnier is I used this as a method of pain control for my no medication births on both children.
Oh, God bless you.
Uh-huh. And and I got done giving birth and was like, I need to swim. I gotta go. Like, the Olympics are calling. I just had a baby and should probably pass out, but I'm feeling very energized. So I tell you that little bit of the story, A, because it's funny, and B, because with practice, you can take this and do it anywhere at any time for any reason. Like, it's great when you're arguing with your partner and you're like, I'm gonna put their head through the wall, right? Like, you feel tensions rising and you're like, nope, I'm just gonna tense like, forget the head to toe, I'm tensing everything all at once. And you're like, just don't talk to me, I'm breathing. And you can tense it all, and then you're like, oh, but I remember the relaxation and the heaviness and the breathing and the out and the in and the, oh, okay. And then you don't have to get arrested because you didn't punch your partner in the face or put him through a wall, and things are good. So many uses for progressive muscle relaxation.
Oh, that's at the top of my list now.
Right, works for children too, but
oh, thank God mine are gone.
But it is universal, can be used for many things. I'm gonna turn up my volume a little bit. Yeah, so that is progressive muscle relaxation from start to finish. It is available all over YouTube. You will have this recording so you can listen to it as often as you like. And if it sounds like this worked well for you guys, so if this is something that is useful, it is a fantastic way to fall asleep.
I was almost asleep in my chair.
Excellent. And it's also really good because, one of the things that happens when we're in pain is it's hard not to focus on all the bits that hurt. But when you're squeezing and relaxing things and you're like drawing your attention to different parts of your body, you can almost remember what it's like not to hurt in at least one part. like, oh, hey, my left finger didn't hurt today. I'm going to focus on that, damn it. But by using progressive muscle relaxation, we can introduce feelings that are not what we tend to live with all day. And that's good for our brains and our nervous systems. So, okay, Chris, you freaked me out there for a second. So I'm going to give my little spiel, and then we're going to go into Q&A. So starting the 29th, I don't know how, 10 days from now, I'm going to be doing a class on emotions that's going to teach, it's 8 weeks. I'm going to teach 8 different tools, and we're going to talk about like emotions and what do we do with them. And I'm going to give you a framework. And basically the whole point of the 8 weeks is to like dive super deep on just dealing with the emotions, the emotional component of our pain. Because let's face it, who the hell else is doing it? No, I mean, like, if you've got a psychologist, that's great. Keep going, do that. But it's different to be in a group of people that are experiencing pain like you are, and to have that impact with our relationships and our work and just all of the roles that we have in life, as as a mom, as a partner, as a coworker, as a friend, as a daughter. we know pain interferes with all of those things. And the point of the class is to help you build the resilience that we talked about earlier, not to give you false positive, because that's icky. I don't like that. But to deal with real emotions and real ways to deal with that, on top of that, giving you tools to help with your nervous system. So I will put a link up. If you're interested in finding out more, just contact me, but I wanted to let people know that it is available. And I have listened to you, like to those of you that are in my little world in the past, and there are 3 different price tiers. So there's the like do it yourself, here's the video, it's going to come out each week. There's a group where you're going to get the video, and then we're going to talk about it like this, like in the Zoom session, and we'll get a chance to talk to each other. And then the last option is you get both of those things, plus you get 4 one-on-one sessions with me throughout the 8 weeks. So we meet every other week, and you get like hyper personalized attention because it's just you and me. So I will put the link up for that for anybody that is excited and wants to explore that further. That's the sales pitch. We're done.